Yes, it sounds strange, but Hogwarts Legacy just got a 55 gig update and the game isn't even out yet. Also, even more great news to talk about in this video, more secret interactions and gameplay from the previews, and let's jump right in. Now, if you preloaded Hogwarts Legacy on the Xbox, you might have received this big update last night without maybe even realizing, and it looks like multiple users have also reported something similar, so it's likely not a coincidental download. I haven't noticed mine getting any yet, but then again, mine is set to auto-update, so let me know down below if you did notice similar downloads on Steam or PlayStation. But my money is on the fact that this is most probably the day one patch that should further flesh out the game and fix some of the bugs and issues some of us saw during our play sessions. And we also know that the same day one patch will already be included with your digital copy of the game, so I'm pretty sure this is that. Meanwhile, if you bought physical edition, you will need to connect to the internet to download that day one patch sometimes around launch, so there is a slight difference. By the way, another thing which is pretty awesome is the fact that you don't need an internet connection to enjoy the game. You only need it, however, to download any updates Hogwarts Legacy might get, including that day one patch, but that is pretty much it. I'm glad nonetheless, because way too many games nowadays require you to be always online even if the situation doesn't call for it, so it's nice to see developers listening for a change. Now the only question that remains would be, what is this update all about? Well, my bet is mainly performance, fleshing out some of the bugs, and probably getting rid of some of the glitches that might have slipped through so far. I did not notice anything particularly bad during my own play session, but I do hear other creators have had some issues with certain aspects, like maybe some of the animations not playing out correctly, maybe some characters quickly despawning and reappearing for some reason, and there's been a few reports of pop-ins, especially noticeable when flying very fast out in the open world. So hopefully this is going to address most, if not all, of these issues. One thing that I could say bugged me is that the pitch of my character's voice, which I did adjust to feel deeper than its default section, felt odd and robotic, as some of you also pointed out in the gameplays that I have posted on the channel. So I kinda am keeping hopes high that that's still going to be fixed, otherwise I will just go with the default voice. On a more gameplay related side, there's lots more to talk about in terms of side activities, gameplay changes, and more from some of these previews. As many likely noticed, around the back area of the Quidditch arena, there is a broom race starting activity with this platform surrounded by a bunch of students. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone was allowed to capture it or start it, but we've speculated on the existence of a race with the broom, so I'm glad that we do have some validation over there. Another big one is how much can change in the castle during nighttime compared to during the day. One that I really liked was around the greenhouse area, the same one we go and take Miss Garlick's herbology classes in. During the day, it looks nice and vibrant with all the students and the plants going on, but then the Wizarding World page posted one at night, which makes a huge difference, especially with some of the fireflies that also spawn in the area. I think this looks really cinematic and nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem that there's any restrictions when walking inside the castle at night, and I've seen multiple previews confirming that nobody is there to stop you, which I guess is technically lore correct since there's no Voldemort threat at the current time, but it would have been nice maybe just to add a bit of intrigue or be scared a little bit of just like surrounding areas and people like busting you. But from some of the previews, we do know that certain events do trigger only during nighttime, so it's still worth it to explore it during that. For example, if there's a quest that can only start during the daytime or vice versa, you can just wait near it, press the button, and then just jump straight into it. Most games out there do that nowadays, so I guess it's for the ease of use. Also, by the way, we haven't seen too many of these, but this is how the fail screen looks like, courtesy to this Reddit user that did get a screenshot. I'm not sure exactly from whose gameplay this is, but if something goes horribly wrong and you maybe die or fail the quest, this is how it's going to look like. And yeah, I didn't see one in my playthrough since I did not fail anything, but I was close to doing so when accidentally stepping outside of the quest area, which by the way is totally possible, and you will get a 10-second countdown timer. Speaking of the herbology class we just talked about, some previewers managed to enter that area, and when she's not teaching, Professor Garlic does let you use the potting tables to grow your plants, which I guess comes in useful if you don't have the room of requirement yet or do not have enough materials to create your own planters over there. Not all are going to be combat plants for obvious reasons, like for example it seems that this is also where we get to plant the mallow sweet that produces the leaves we use in the Merlin trials, so looking forward to how that connection looks like. Also, many of the other combat plants like the mandrake seeds, which can be bought from the dogweed and deathcap and planted over here. We can also see from the footage, by the way, from a different preview, that if you use some of these mandrakes, they don't just stun enemies, but it shows more clearly that they also deal a bit of damage over time. Although I will say that it appears shorter than in some of the old previews, so maybe we do need to invest some skill points to like get that extended and have the duration much longer, and as a result also deal more damage with it. In terms of attention to detail, I'm still baffled and just realized that the Flu Network lady, like the mural over there, actually reacts and addresses to you, the player, when discovering a new fast travel point. And there's even like different dialogues every single time, so I did not even know that she was the one that was doing all of these comments when discovering them. Furthermore, the disillusionment chest, there seems to be one close to the garden area that eventually we might want to come back at some point and get, especially after getting the invisibility spell. If you did not know this, you cannot open these chests because you need to avoid detection from that big eye in the middle. And if you use that invisibility spell or maybe even an invisibility potion, there's gonna be a big reward awaiting for you inside. But moving on, since we spoke about physical copies, your local GameStop or retailer might have already set up one of these Hogwarts Legacy stands. So this, coupled with the box image from yesterday, yeah, expect next week to be quite eventful and probably quite a lot of people to get their hands on the physical copies, which by the way, you're probably going to be able to play right away since it doesn't require an internet connection. And more great news is coming our way if you're a content creator or just someone who would love to post your gameplay or your own streams online. You don't have to worry about any copyright issues. The main support page was able to confirm that you can even stream with the audio on and you're not going to have any issues. Though just remember that the stream embargo is going to lift once that 72-hour period starts, so that's going to be on February 7th. Now, if you acquired the collector's edition, you might want to know that its bonuses come as codes included with it that you'll have to redeem to get your rewards in game. So everything that I would assume would be from the Dark Arts cosmetics, mounts, battle arena and so on, even the PlayStation bonus quests and the potion recipes, assuming you get it on the PlayStation, should be done this way as well. I'm pretty sure that by extension, this should also mean that the Deluxe Edition does that too, since it also includes these bonuses separately. Though if I think about it, on the PlayStation at the very least, when you download the game, you do have all of these separately that you can also download at the same time. So it's not like you have to enter codes manually or anything. One piece of news that might be a bit disappointing to some is that there's no GeForce Now support, and the company confirmed there aren't any announced plans to bring Hogwarts Legacy to that streaming service, at least not for now, in case you were wondering. But it doesn't have to be such bad news anyway, because you can instead maybe take part in the 2 Hogwarts Legacy giveaways that I'm doing right now for the Deluxe Edition. And you just have to be subscribed to the channel, leave a like and comment down below if you want to enter it. And in regards to the question when the winners get announced, it's going to be a couple of days before early access, so I'm probably going to announce the winners around the 5th so that you have plenty of time to download and get ready for launch. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys in the next video.